I just want to show you this to keep in mind in lighting. And now it's time to create underwater scenes. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. Okay, so let's go back here. You remember in the first two sessions, we talked about the lighting in the real life and how the lighting works. Okay, underwater's lighting, it's something very difficult, but today you will be able to create any underwater scenes, believe me. Okay, because there is a small tips in Unreal Engine that will give you great underwater look and feel without even use my blueprints. So you don't need to use my blueprint. But the idea here, in a light in the real life, I teach you before, in a light in real life, when he hit any surface, there's some physics happen, like absorbing, scattering, bounced, or so on. In underwater, there is three physics happen when the light hit the surface. The first thing, it's scattering. That's mean when the light hit the water surface, the light start to scatter. That's why we start to see the caustics lights. The second thing, it's absorbing, which is the first important thing we have to learn in here. So what is the absorbing? So do you remember we said before the light, it's about the rays. We have 7 rays, okay? So any pure light, like the white light we saw in the real life, it comes like rays, okay? This rays, when he hit any surface, it start to have some absorbing and bounced, okay? In the water surface, all the light start to absorbing very quickly, and then when you go to deep, like 10 meters, 20 meters, it's lost all the rays except the blue. Only the blue rays, it's still until to reach the bottom of the ocean or the deepest place. Okay, but
1,000 meters. That's 1,000 meters. That's
yes,
where it stops.
Yes, the stops.
So everything below 1,000 meters, light doesn't reach.
It's dark, yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, and after 1,000, it's gonna be dark. So even the blue, it's gonna be absorb the lights. So let's say we have the blue lights here. So I just need to have this. Okay, so even the blue after 1,000 meter, or I don't know, I think yes, 1,000 meter, the light start to lose the rays until to reach the black. Okay, that's why in the deep water or the deep ocean we can't see anything. It's completely dark. Okay, so but before that, when the light start to hit the surface, we have these rays. Okay, if we go back here, the first 3 rays start to absorbing. It's red, orange, yellow. So in Unreal Engine, we have red, right? So let's try to take the red color. Okay, you see, we start to see this cyan lights. That's why in lakes, like in Orlando, let's try to find Orlando underwater, because I work in the project Ronaldo. Orlando. What the heck? Orlando. Yes, maybe this image. Okay, so you see the distance between the water surface and the bottom and the ground is too close. So that's why we still see some greenish and cyan color. Okay, that's mean you have to keep in mind when you work in any scenes that you, let's say you have a lakes or you have the place that's it's the water surface, it's very near from from the ground, you can't add the blue color. Okay, and this is one of the secrets. So you, as we said before, when you work in photorealism, you have to respect the natural. Okay, so if we go back here, you will find this. You see, we just take the red and the green is still to 15 meters. We can't still see the green color. Okay, that's mean if you have the place like what I showed you now, and you add the light like this, is not gonna be correct. Okay, you might feel it looks nice, familiar for you, but related to the real life is not right. Okay, so just keep in mind, only blue can be done when you have 10 meter or 20 meter or under. Okay, so after 10 meters, after 20 meters, you can just keep the blue lights. Okay, so basically, as I said here, let's say we have the green and the blue. Now we don't have any red. So now we go more deep. So that's mean we have to take to absorb the green color. So let's see if we start to take the green color. You see now we start to go to this blue color. So everything in the real life related to the 3D. Okay. So that's it. So you can start go there and just add this color. That's all you need to create your environment underwater. So now how we can create underwater scene. Okay. So I'm gonna open.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
So let's say you're doing a scene from, in your shot, you can see the surface and you go, I don't know, 10
Yes.
meters maybe.
Yes.
So you do like a gradient where on the top you will have like almost full RGB, and then as you go down, you would have a gradient of lighting.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes we use this in fog. I will try to show you this how it works. But there is another tip. You can use the gradient textures to fake this. Okay, I
Gotcha.
used this before, but I will try to show you this thing. Let's try to find it. Where the maps here? What the? Oh, it is not this one. Don't need that version. Yes, we need to open this one. Okay, so this one tab, and the second tab is caustics. Underwater, I don't know. I wrote, no, it's not right. So
Need the
if
U
we,
there.
yes, yeah, yeah, CEU.
CAU.
Yes. So the second option in underwater that make your underwater scene looks natural, it's caustics. Okay, the caustics, it's scattering of light on the underwater surface. So when you have any surface, as I said, as I told you, the water surface, it scatter all the light and created something is called caustics. Okay, but listen, the caustics only works in the place that near to the water surface. So that's mean if you are very deep also in the underwater, you can't add the caustics. Even it looks nice for you, but it's not gonna be related to the real life. But you can use it for sure. And you even the color, you can change the color to get your mood. But if you are looking for to create photorealism, try to respect the real life natural. Okay. So how is the caustics works? I will show you here in Unreal Engine. So I will not show you how to create the Castix material, but simply there is a great plugins here. If we go to plugin and search for water, okay, you will find this water plugins for Unreal Engine. It's come with Unreal Engine. Once you enable, you have to restart, okay? And when you start, you can simply, where is here? Let me find, it's not there. I forgot where I have to find.
Tools?
Tools.
Karim, it's
Yes.
there only. The box and the plus mark tab. You just have to click on that tab. Just cancel out this. Just
Sorry.
come out of this. Just cancel
What?
out it. Just come out of this tool
Okay.
panel. Yeah, there is this box. The box plus.
Yes.
Yeah. Just click and type water. Type water. Just start typing it. Water.
I start typing water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yes, you're right. Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, so after you enable this, you have couple of options here. So let's say I will add water body custom. Okay, I remember to water or maybe the lake. Yes, it works here, but yes, okay, should be nice. Okay, so it's create the water surface. Okay, here, but the idea to not use this water surface, I just need to go here, okay, and try to find the materials, and that's what we are looking for. Okay, so if we go back here and search for the Castix, we will find this Castix material. I edit on this Castix, but you will find the same Castix material. Okay, so why we gonna use this Castix material? Because simply when you have the direction light, I have this one, just drag it here. Okay, so I have the direction light now, and we're gonna go to light faction. Okay, you remember the light factions that we used for the light cookies? I will just drag and drop this here. Okay, so once I did this, you will find this Castix. But the Castix here is not correct. It's too small or too big, depending on the Castix material. But you can open the lock here and start to scale your Castix texture until to reach the resolution that you are looking for. So if we go underwater now, we can start to see the Castix effects. Okay, but I will show you how we can create this very professional. Okay, but yeah, Castix, there is many Castix. Anyway, when I will send it to you, the underwater plugins, you will able to use the Castix material, and you will find two type of Castix. Okay, so if I go back here, I do create another Castix which has very dark area because I need only the white rays, okay, to create a good rays. And the reason for this, if we go to here and let's add this one, okay, so just take a look on this effect and take a look on this effect. Okay, this one should be works on the place that near from the water surface, like in a pool or the lake like this. So you can use this kind of caustics. But if you go very deep, you can use this one. Okay. And one of the reasons also I use this to have only scattering light around places. So like if I add fog, I will show you this now, but keep this now. Okay. And anyway, also this water surface, you see, it's very realistic. So you can use it for sure in underwater mode. Okay. So now let's open any, let's go, any maps. So I have sea turtle. Okay. So I have this one. Just need to go back to classic here. Okay, so this environment I made by using my underwater. Okay, and also the plugins will come with the fish and all the dirts here. We'll try to cover all of this thing. Okay, so let's remove everything in place, and we have nothing now. Okay, even the spots, I don't need anything here. Not even the fishes, because we need to start from scratch. So let's say you have this beautiful underwater scenes and you need to start to create your scene. Okay. The first thing you have to do is about, if you gonna see the water surface, you need to add HDR light. Okay. So I will create HDR light. And let's say this 1500. Okay, and we can move it to south, no, not 2000. Or it's okay, we can keep it for now because we will not see anything in the background. Okay, and then turn off the game setting. It's important to change the game setting. So now I need to change this background. So if you press here, you will find, or not, if we press on this one, I prefer to use this D lights. Okay, and also I have to go to the skylights and change it to cube map, and from here use the same one, because now it will create nice ambience, global ambience. You remember we use the same basics lights. We use the global ambience first. So now let's say I need the bounce of my lights. Let's say it's 5. Okay, 5 should be okay. All right. So now we have to create the lights. So add the direction lights. Okay, so let's say we have the direction light here. So what I'm gonna do, I will go back to use materials. You will find the same thing here. Okay, and I need to use this one. Okay, so as you can see here, we have only lights on this area. But just imagine if we use this. We will have some scattering lights come from the materials and also some caustics lights. Okay, so let's say I will keep this for now and I will keep the light white. Okay, so now it's time to create the fog, but I think the light need to have more light intensity. So let's say 10. I think 10 should be or maybe 7. Okay, so 7 should be okay. So now it's a big secret about the fog. Okay, so if we go here and search for fog, there is nothing happening here, right? But once I add this 2, it's black. But let's make this white. And now you remember we take off of the red. I need to take off this red and the green. So let's say we have a big distance now, okay? Right, so now we have this one. So let's create water surface to just make sure that we have enough distance. Okay, it doesn't visible now, but let's go back here. Okay, and also in the second here, we can add more fog intensity. So let's say I will keep this as 1. Okay, and now I need to see the light on the above here. So if we go here in scattering, you will find something is called in scattering color cube map. So if we add this now, oh, because it's too near. Okay, so we'll not use this. So let's keep it for now like this. Okay, so now if you look at here, do you remember the start distance? In any underwaters, always the nearest assets near to the camera, it should, you can see them without any fog. So sometimes you can see it's fully foggy, or sometimes you can see the distance, some distance between the near assets from the camera and the far assets here. Okay, so now the scene, it looks very weird, right? So let's turn on the volumetric, okay, and go back to direction light here. And we'll add this one. And from the light also, I will take off this light to just have some blue. Okay. And from here, we can start to change the distance for the fog. And also, let's say I need to add this one. But direction light, it looks very weird. So let's try to move it like this. Okay, to the top here. Okay, so now we have this. So I will try to change the scattering, this option. Why? Because in the top surface, we should has to see some plume effect on the top. So if you look at the light now, it looks too flat. But if we move this now, we can start to see this plume effect on the water surface. Okay, so now the light, it looks more natural, okay, related to the light scattering on the underwater. Okay, but I don't know why this doesn't affect on the fog, but we'll figure out now. Okay, so let's say we have this distance. I just need to make sure from something. Okay, so let's say now we have this underwater scene, but it doesn't look like what we are looking for. So I will try to go back here and let's try to add 3. Now we have some dark area. Okay, so from here we can go to post-processing and infinity. Okay, we don't need anything here. We will not use the local exposure, even the local exposure, but I need to turn on this one, okay, to get some dark spot area. And from here, the contrast has to change. And the temperature here also, we're gonna change the temperature a bit and get something like this. So now you see, we start to see something like an underwater, but it seems like it's too dark, is not similar like what we are looking for. So I don't know if I add, let's say 50, or even we can change this. Maybe the water surface can be visible or not. Yes, the water surface now it works. So I just changed the cube map here. So you see now we start to see the water surface. Okay, only the first cube map, but the second one, I keep it as is.
Is that because of the clouds? Because the
Yes.
first one didn't have
No,
any
and the
clouds.
water surface, because the water surface has refraction, but because if we turn off this one, you see now it's reflected too much, but now we have some balance in the underwater. You see, we don't do anything. We start to see it's something like the underwater, but for sure this is not what we are looking for. Okay, so let's try to change this one. So I will go back here to direction and I will try to move to this one to get more light scattering. Okay, so now we can see some bounced light or rim light in the place. Okay. So let's say I will make the color greenish and go back to the fog. So all we have to change it's from the fog and the light. Okay. Now we need to keep the distance. Need to keep this one. Okay, but yes, that one should be perfect. Yes, that's what we are looking for. So the view distance. So the view distance now it should be works. You see now we have bright and then in the bottom here it should be dark. Okay, so but if we go back here, it's all the distance gonna be has the same color. But with the distance now we can really feel that's bright and then darker, 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 then until we reach this area. Okay, so the bloom effect here, it looks too much. Okay, so I will try to just has some less lighting. Okay, so let's say we have this one, and now we can really see the distance of the water. Okay, also here in the fog high, we can control of this fog. You see this area? This is the fog distance. So let's say I need to see some water surface. So from here you can simply just do this. So now we have these lights. Okay, so now we have the basics lights mode. If we move around now, we can really see this light. So now it's time to use some fake lights. Let's say I'm gonna use this light. Okay, with the big distance here. But make sure you turn off the fog. We don't need any volumetric. And I will go back here and use this one, the darker one. Okay. And just move this up and we can change the radius. Okay. So now you see we have some scattering between the sunlight and the scattering overall from the water surface. So by using this, if we just keep the distance too big, and now let's change the size. So I need to have smaller size. So with this one, it's gonna be related to this water surface. Now we can really start to feel the water, the underwater look and feel. Okay, so if we go back here to this one, because we don't have too much distance, the blue is too much, so I will keep it 0.2. So just take a look between this and this one, because blue, it's very deep. So in deep water, we can see the water surface. Okay, so now I will try to go to HDRI again, and I will see if I bring this down or bring this up. I just need to see what's better for me. Okay, and now I'm gonna turn off this lighting and go back to post-processing. And from exposure, manual exposure. And from here, I will start to change my exposure until I reach the modes that I am looking for. You see now, you can start to feel this mode. So now if you move the fog, even the fog, it's gonna move with you. So like in real life, because in underwater, if you dive, you can't see after 1 meter. So that's mean all this area should be has very foggy effect. So you can go back here to the fog. Okay, and the distance you can control of the distance. Or even you can add, let's say 3, 4, it depends on if you have very deep water. But let's say I need to see some assets in the far here. And also if you can, you can add more lights, foggy lights here by using emissive. I'm always using emissive to just get this kind of effect. Okay, so now the scene, it looks nice. We have dark area and we have bright area here in the top. So it should looks okay for now, right? But now we have to talk about the visibility in underwater. There is no visibility, clear visibility in underwater. You can't even see if the water is too clean. You can't see the scene clean like this. Okay, so in this case, you have to add some blur effect to just make the visibility blurry. Okay, so how you can do this? This is a secret. Okay, so if we go here to post-processing, if I ask you to add blur in Unreal Engine, usually you will change the depth of field. Okay, but actually not. In post-processing, we can use the bloom. The bloom we are using to create, you do remember, to create this fog effect, but in underwater, it's different. So I will turn on this setting and I will change from standard to this one. And from here, let's add 10. Okay, so I will keep this 10, and now we can add more blur effects. So I just need to show you this guy. Okay, so just take a look the difference between this one and this one. What do you think? Which one is more realistic?
Second one.
Second one.
This one.
Is right.
The existing.
So it's just small details, but can make difference. Okay, so the blur effect underwater, it's very, very important to blend the colors and the assets together, and also to give you pure view in underwater. So never keep the lights clear like this. Never, never. Okay, so usually I use 2.1. Okay. Yeah, 2.1, it should be okay, or you can add more if you wish. So now we have this clear vision, okay? So do you remember yesterday when we talked about the post-processing material? Okay, there is also something in for underwater. You will find also here in my blueprint. So let's go back to material. Okay, and we need to create the waves effect for the screen. Something is called screen wave effect. Okay, so we create the material here, and then let's search for wave. So we will find something is called M screen wave. So drag and drop here. It's a very small effect, but if we take a look here, you see we have these waves. I don't know if you can see or not, but we have these small waves, because in underwater also the visibility is not clear, so you need to see some waves effect. Okay, so once you finish your scene like this, okay, so this asset is too dark, so I will try to look at the skylight, and let's try to change. Maybe we can find something more interesting here. Okay, to has more light, bounced light. Okay, so I'm not sure, but just give it a try. So this one is not that bad, because we can see some yellow assets here. Okay, because the light. Oh, also one more thing, guys, sorry. So if we select the HDRI, you see here the sunlight, it's come from there. So you need to move it here and make sure your direction light has the same direction. So now it's gonna be looks like the real light. We can even see some this reflection effects. Okay, so now we can change the color of these assets. It's too what's called, it was too bright, so let's move it to yellowish. Okay, and from the direction lights, we can now add more light intensity. And let's change this one. We'll have something like this. So now we have a big effect, big bloom effect on the top, and now we can reach this.
Do you ever touch saturation?
No, not yet.
No?
No, I don't touch any saturation yet.
Generally, I'm asking in underwater.
In underwater, no, I'm new. Normally, I use the temperature, not saturation. So the
But
temperature.
there's no loss of saturation or loss of
No, not
color.
loss of saturation. No, I never use this. But usually, I use the temperature to just tweak the light, the temperature. So if I am near from the surface, I will try to keep has some yellow, or if I'm very deep, I can keep it completely blue like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go back here. We have some yellow and the exposure. Now let's try to add more contrast. The contrast is very important. That's why I'm using curves on the materials. So if I go back here, Z1, and you remember the material texture, LUT. Also, you will find LUT textures here. So here I have LUT. So this one, let's try to use this one. So we'll turn on this. So you see, I just add a couple of LUT. So now by using this one, I can have some nice curves. So let's say it's 0.5, and from the contrast, I can get this note. Okay, so now you can start to change your color mode. So it's gonna be more greenish like this from the gain if you are near from the water surface, or you are has too deep in the water surface, so you can move this light. You see, it's like Avatar. If I open the Avatar movie, you will find the same effect now. So let's try to find the Avatar. Avatar, the way of water. You see here, he can see some greenish and blue because it's near from the water surface. But yes, that's what I am looking for. Take a look on this effect. And let's go back here. So now we have too much contrast. So basically we can go to fog. And if we go back here, we can get this less foggy. And also post-processing, we look for the highlights. So we can just get this down. You see this too bright, this has low. Okay, and for the caustics, if we go back to the direction, we can add more caustics. So let's say, oh no, that's too much. Okay, so we can go back to fog. So now we have this nice effect. Okay, so the fog here, it looks, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for, but the highlights now need to change. So post-processing, I know it's something complicated. We move from the fog to direction, but that's a way to create the underwater. You have to always keep in mind you're gonna update every time. Okay, so if we go back to the fog, I don't know why we have this effect. It's very weird. I think it comes from the maybe lens. Lens. Ah, it's boom. Weird. We shouldn't have this one. But it's not that bad. So if we go back here to fog, and let's say I will add more light. So yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly the same effect on Avatar. If we go back here, boom, you see? It's the same. So we have a nice caustics. And listen, avatars are using different software and they're using different layers. So here the light, it's greenish because it's near from the water surface. So let's do the same. So we can add more greenish. So if we check this, and that one should be similar. So now welcome to underwater scene. So if we go back to post-processing and start to change the exposure, you see we can control the highlights. So now I have more nice color. In gamma also sometimes I add some gamma to just have this. You see the difference between this two blue. Now we have some nice green effects. Okay, in shadow also. We can see this here. Doesn't affect too much. So now let's add more. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So this one, it's more natural than these two blue. You see now we try to just bring the blue down. So this color is natural and it's close to the real life. Okay, so we have this one. And one more thing, we can go back to direction lights. And if I open this one, let's try to add this. Oh no, this one. No, I think that's okay. Maybe yes, something like this should be fine. So now we have nice God rays. So you see, I'm the top. Look at the bottom. You see the bottom now. When we get close, we can see. Okay. There is another tip I'm always using in underwater, which is you can add some lamp or flashlights. Okay. And the flashlight, it's completely changed the scene. Okay. And guys, listen, we don't add any fish, we don't add any dirt to get the real mood in underwater. But before I add the light, just want to give you this one. So let's open the VFX and add fish, and I have this slow. Just one small touch, it can be bring more life to your scene. So now, welcome to the underwater scene. So I have this fish fast. It's all included in my blueprint, guys, so you can simply use it. So now you see we have a pure underwater scene, and also the corals. Also, you will find the corals in it comes with my blueprints. Okay. Also, we have some dirts. We can add some dirts here. In underwater, the water is not clear, so we should see some dirts effect move around. Okay. So now let's add the spotlight. Oops, I need to add my spotlight here. Okay, and do you remember when we create the what's called the light cookies for the flashlights? Okay, I will try to find the materials here. I'm not sure if I have the material here or not, but anyway, we can use the IES. So I just need to check this one. Or you know what? We already have the textures. So if I go here to the textures, I'm sure I can find the materials that I'm looking for. So yes, I have it here. So this one has what? Okay, that's perfect. I have this material. So let's add this material here now. Okay, and let's try to add more intensity. Okay. And the radius should be not too big. Okay. So any diver has to have the flashlights, which can start to see the assets. Okay. So normally I just create camera. Okay. And from the camera, don't forget to change this to 4.2. Okay. I will try to keep the camera in the same place like here. Okay. So now I will go to spotlights that I just created. Okay, this spotlight, and put it as movable, and then I will attach it to the camera. Okay, so now once you have this and start to move the camera, the spotlight will follow you. Boom. Welcome to very realistic underwater scene. So you see, even the dirt can be effect on the scene. So it's the same thing it's happened in the real life. So now I have my spots, I move around, I can, oh my God, I have a shipwreck here. I have nice, you see, I have some nice corals here. So that's also way you can create your portfolio. So you can create a scene like this and just move the camera. Okay, and last thing here, when you create the camera movement, always use the camera shake. Okay, so let's say we have the scene here. Okay, have you ever expected that you can create underwater scene like this? Okay, and guys, listen, I didn't use any reference or didn't check any reference. I just created from my mind. So when you have the reference, it's gonna be much easier for you. So always use the reference. Okay, so let's say we have a nice camera and we need to create nice movement. Okay, so I will create new level here. Okay, and from track, use the camera. Oops. Okay, and from here, second, and we just need to have 20 and give time because in underwater you move too slowly. Okay, so I will create movement, just basic movement. So let's say from here to there. Okay, so now we can check this movement. All right, so that looks okay, but it's too static. In underwater, there is no one can move on the track. Okay, so if we go back here, do you remember how to use the camera shake? If we go back here and search for camera shake, also in my blueprint, I add a couple of camera shake. Okay, so let's say I have this deep water. You see this movement, the body has to move in underwater. So it's not static anymore. So the cameras move like this. So that's bring more life. Boom, we create underwater scene. That's all you need to learn how to create underwater scene. So color, it's very important to give you this realistic. Okay, the fog distance also part of this. So you can simply move from the top to bottom here. You can switch around. You see 360. Now, however, if I move my camera, I can really see this feeling. Okay, so you see this contrasts. If you ever diving before or not, but I do some free diving. So you will find the same feeling here. And listen, this the ground is has no assets. So if I bring more assets, it's gonna be looks more natural. So let's find this now. And also all the corals included in my blueprint. You can simply go here and where's there is corals. Okay. So if we open this and search for static, you have bunch of them. Okay, so let's say I need to use this one. Just scale. You see it, then we can simply create this nice corals effect. Okay, so if we go back here, If you ever got this, just go to window and load default. Okay, so let's go back here. And also, guys, for the fish, so let's say you have this goldfish, okay, but you need to change the goldfish to another fish, okay? So you can simply go to fish here, where FX fish meshes. So now you can select any type of fish. So let's say I need to change the goldfish to another fish. So now you can find this, and also you have the scale. So let's say the scale it's too much, so I can say it's 0.5. Okay, and also you can control of the fish, so I need less fish, 50, and the radius, let's say I need to have big radius. Also the speed, so you can move them too fast or too slow. Okay, you can move the direction. You can make them move in groups. Okay, this is called school of fish. So you see now they're gonna move in groups, but if you keep them 0, they will move randomly. Okay, also in the blueprint you have some animation assets like where there is animals, see animals. Okay, so you have sea turtles. Okay, so you can simply but I don't like this fish, so it may change to this one maybe, or Talipia. And the distance also, you can change the distance. Distance, that's mean the travel distance. So they're gonna move to place too far, but let's keep them in the back some distance. Okay, but yes, anyway, and guys, listen, you can use some fake light. I'm always use some fake light to highlight some areas. So let's say this area is too dark, I need to add some light. So you can add some spotlights around to just get more light in the scene. Okay, so hey turtle, and this is all animation, so animated. So if you add it to your levels, so if we have this level, so I just need to move this here. Okay, so you can simply drag and drop here, and from the animation just add this here, and from here you can extend it. So now let's say I'm gonna do animation. So from this point, welcome to underwater. See, so you can move them around. So that's why I will give you access to the underwater. Okay, after the session, I will send you all the access that you can oh, sorry, it's in Google Drive. So you will receive the Google Drive link. You can download it and enjoy the project. You will find bunch of the maps. So here I have about 10 maps or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16 maps. So you can use the 16 maps. It's ready. Okay. So I love this one, so I can save it for now. Sea turtles tests. Okay. So let's say you can, oops, okay. Anyway, I will open the main one.